What is up, guys? Welcome back to Wrenching Wrecked. I think today's the day. I'm gonna get this thing off the lift. I got everything hooked up. I know in the last video I was making a weird grindy noise on the inside of the primary. So yesterday I actually didn't film it because we had people up here cleaning. Look at what Daddy and the girls did yesterday. Got so much room for activities over here. Granted, I had to hide all my stuff in the blast booth, but that's fine. Still some more sweeping and cleaning up to do. I gotta tackle that bench over in the corner and start moving some bikes around. I got the chopper back, rode that 2024 Street Glide back to the shop, picked that up, super happy, super thrilled with it. But then I rode my chopper back here, fixed the door pin in my truck, which I've been putting off. But it's not about those things. Today's ironhead day. So this is completely out of gas right now. I ran it out yesterday. I got a gas can somewhere over there, so we'll top this off. Hopefully the battery's got a decent enough charge on it. I'm giving them a lithium-ion battery charger with this as well. I did put a voltmeter on the generator while this was running yesterday, and at idle plus, I didn't hold it at a full 3,000, but like at idle plus, it does go up. It's getting right up to around 13. I'd like to see it higher, but I don't really know how well that battery is gonna be charging currently with the generator. I did reflash it. Go back to the ironhead videos, you can see how to do that, but I think it's okay. We still gotta test ride it. We'll get it on the ground, test ride it, then the headlights gotta come off. I gotta finish grinding down these brackets and throw some paint on there, and then we gotta rewire this headlight switch. But everything else is tightened down. I just went through and tightened up all of these shifter linkages and bits. So everything's tightened down, snugged there, kicker's back on. No grindy noise. I pulled the primary completely apart, went through all of that, and the electric start basket had a new ratchet plate put in, but the rivets were sticking up pretty far. So I found a witness mark on the transfer port on the cover. So I just ground that down. I didn't plug the hole or anything, but ground down the face on the trapdoor of that, and then ground a tiny bit off the end of the rivets, and there's plenty of clearance. It's not making any noise. We'll hear that in a little bit. Axle is all done and tightened down. Throttle cable is hooked up, throttle is on, clutch cable is hooked up and adjusted. So that should all be good. Now I'm just gonna throw the air cleaner on, and then we're gonna get ready to go for a quick ride, I think. At least that's the plan. So S&S. Luckily, I found all the bolts you need for it. Unfortunately, it's different size hardware, so I will have to grab some screws. But this will be nice just because it'll allow me to, one, have a carb support on here, and two, we can actually use the choke without using vice grips on this thing. So, backing plate on the carb support. Snug this up. Hopefully this will all fit on here. I don't see why it shouldn't, but I'm not gonna bolt the seat down because I forgot to bring my stapler from home. But we'll at least get that on there. And I need a flathead. Come on, line up. Really? There's one. Why don't you want to fit? Let's go with the easy two. Remember what I just said about the choke? I don't know why, but S&S carbs, I forget these things all the time. Wondering why this thing's not gonna fit. Well, maybe it's because you're pinching the choke bracket. Dummy. Oh well. And what size is this Allen key? A little nervous about the brake linkage. It's working. It's bled. It's definitely stopping the back wheel. I checked that. I just don't know if I'm gonna have to adjust the length on that. Probably, but okay. Put our filter on here and our cover. Man, what a long journey this has been, huh? I don't even remember when I took this bike in. Last winter? Before winter. It's kind of the back burner project. We ended up switching up a ton of stuff on this too. This bike was supposedly running and riding, but then it got taken apart for whatever reason and then sat for 4 or 5 years. I was amazed actually that this thing started up as good as it did. No throttle cable, I did have choke on. No throttle cable, accelerator pump was still working. Very impressed. Thing just ran perfect. Sitting here planning to do a whole carb rebuild on an S&S again, but it didn't need it. All right. Should be the last one right here. We'll get it on the ground. I'll do one more quick check. Oh, we should probably tighten that upper triple tree clamp down. I know the main nut's good, but there's 2 little pinch bolts that we do want to snug down here. Those are the only ones I couldn't get to. Might have to bust out an actual Allen key set for those to get around the springs. Let's see if we can get lucky with this thing. I really need the long ones. We're not going far, just down the driveway and up the road. I need my deep sockets. Stupid Springer, always in the way. All right, good enough for now. Now I get to clear off the rest of the bench and drop this thing on the ground. Let's see what this thing looks like ground level. Alright, battery tray is zip tied in place as well. Just clean up my hands. See how this goes. Hopefully I don't break down too far. It's the shakedown run, so see what works, doesn't work, just going up and down the driveway. Hopefully we should be good. Let's get this off the lift. Just excited to clean up over here. Stuff's been sitting here for so damn long. Okay. It's got oil, we'll need gas, we'll need a points cover, or at least tighten those screws up so they don't fall off on me. Guess I don't really need the cover. Exciting. Top it off with some fuel. And I think we should be good. This will be fun. By myself. Let's see how good I can use my foot here. This is where Dottie comes in handy. Hold this heavy bike that you think is too heavy to move and don't let it fall. Stupid kickstand. Okay. Scissor lifts out. Try and get this kickstand up. And away we go. Who builds choppers this low? What an idiot. Stupid kickstand. Make sure to get that front end covered in oil before we actually take it on the road. Oh, leave the welder behind you so I can run into things. Interesting. This is the first time sitting on this with this setup. Definitely need fork stops. Maybe we'll put those on right now first. Wants to hit the tank with these wide bars. So we'll have to be a little cautious of that. Great turning radius though, for as long as this is. All right, I know I'm off camera, you can't see me, but I'll bring it back in a minute. Well, that kickstand isn't gonna work for shit. We'll have to fire up the torch. Please don't fall. Don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. So this is kickstand down. And we're pretty much vertical. Bars are hitting the tank, so we'll have to fix that right away. Oh, not too shabby. It'll look a little bit cleaner once that seat gets tucked up. Well, what do we do first? Do I torch the kickstand? Do I even have my torches up here? Shit. I don't think I do. All right, let me throw a rag in between the tank and the bars. That'll help. Then we'll figure out where we want to put all this stuff. Let's see here. Man, this is low, 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 low. Wasn't expecting it to be that low. I'm gonna zip tie this clutch cable up a little bit. Oh, my dummy brain. I put this up here on the clutch perch and now this is stuck on there. So that will have to be addressed. Man, I really need to fire up my torches. Do I have a torch up here? I don't think I do. Oh, I could replace the regulator on my oxyacetylene are busted, so maybe I'll have to fix that. I'm not gonna make you guys watch that part. But let me grab some parts. I gotta grab the gas cap. We'll throw some fuel in this, see if we can get it fired up and give it a shot. Let's see how much gas we're gonna spill on this tank. It's always the fun part. Throw one zip tie for that clutch cable before I forget. Should work right there. And do I have a better funnel? Because this gas tank is completely full. That's just going to spill everywhere. It's a little better, even though it's way smaller. Whatever. It's just gas. Just want to make sure I got enough to make it to a gas station. I think that ought to work. Okay. Well, let's see if she'll start. Well, how's the petcock? Gas is on. 4 squirts, choke on. Where's the key? Come on, battery, still be good. Oh, that kickstand makes me so damn nervous. I think Jesse's here with his van. Maybe he can help me out. Grab the gas cap out of the truck. All right, mic's coming off. We'll take this for a quick ride. There's no real way to film that, so I'll have to. made it there. Died on me once. But I was also slowing down to a stop and I couldn't get neutral. So shifter needs some adjustment for sure. Works fine on the bench, but it's too vertical. So you can't get your foot behind that. So I'll have to adjust that a little bit. It's a little floppy, a little floppier than I would like it. I don't know if it's the bars. I was just looking at that too, and it looks like the bars are a little tweaked as well. So I'll have to take a look at that. Brake-wise, the brake was working fine. I didn't really use it all that much, but with this current configuration, it's just a little wonky. Let's start with the shifter. I'll start adjusting that out. I need more length. I don't know how much I actually have there, or if that bar's in backwards, or I might be able to clock the splines a little bit. So let me start with that, and then we'll come back. Looks like this is a spline to deal. So, which is moving the shifter a bit. Oh, that's not gonna work. It's got a roll pin in here. Interesting. Okay, so second option, we get to separate these somehow. Try and see if I can get some more thread out of this. It's actually kind of neat that they did that. It looked like this was spline, but looking at it closer, it definitely was not. Throw this nut back on before I actually put the splines in, or before I put the pin in up here. I do want to test this one more time, but I do need this to be tightened for that to work. And I'll push this all the way forward on here. See. Yeah, see, it just doesn't have enough throw. How the hell did he have that working before? I didn't change any of this. All right, I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that. I need this to be extended. Can I just run a threaded extension? Get a threaded piece of 5/16. That might work. One of those little hex deals, just to extend this out a little bit. I don't know how he rode this like that. I mean, I could shift it with my heel. You gotta lift your foot off the shifter and pull it back, which isn't ideal. But I need that about there. I don't think I'll get the leverage I need if I drill it lower. Could weld a bracket off of here too. Maybe that's what I'll do. Do we weld on it? Wouldn't be the worst thing, because this is just up so high. I don't know if I'll get the leverage if I drill it lower. I could try. Screw it, let's drill a hole first. As I kind of expected, the lower bolt did not provide enough leverage. So I think I'm gonna weld a tab onto that shifter just to make this thing rideable. It's either make a new rod, which involves having to go out and get material, or weld the tab on to move that bracket back a little bit. I think I got some stainless plate up here, so let me cut something out and drill a hole. Oh, I dropped you guys. Go figure. Back on the ground. I just cut a real rough little bracket. We can dress it up later. But I think we're just gonna weld a tab right onto here. So I got this kind of laid out, bolted in. And I'm just gonna do a quick little tack right on there somewhere. So I'll try and get a tack in there. I did bevel the edge of this too. Something close, and then we can test it. Pants are on fire. There we go. All right, that should be good. Now we can burn this in, I think. I wanted to TIG that, but for right now, this will work. If I need to cut it off and re-weld it proper, we can. I just need a tester. Looks like crap. I wonder if my gauges are bad and I actually am out of gas. There's a good chance. It's the only thing I can think of. It's super porous, like it doesn't have any gas. Barely. It works. Well, I don't quite exactly know how that managed to work, and I know this isn't set up the right way, but the way this is currently laid out is actually working. If you look at the taillight there, hopefully you can see both of these. Linkage is on, I just gotta put the final bolts through. Brake comes on, and it pushes down. I'll show you guys a little bit closer on this in a minute. I think this is actually gonna work. So let me tighten this nut up first before we get too far ahead of ourselves here. The piece that didn't want to fit broke off, which worked out really well for me. And now I can snug these down. We'll go on another test ride. Maybe I'll strap the GoPro on the tank, bring you guys along for that real quick. I don't think we've done one of those yet. All right, that's in. Snug up this lower linkage. Tighten up the front one, and we are pretty much done. Ready for one more test run. Roughly, here's kind of where we're at. Brake is working again like it's supposed to. I just wanted a little bit more of a return on here, so if we look down low, I don't know how far I can get you guys down here. I have the ironhead spring resting on the primary here. It's a little goofy. It's not supposed to be laid out like this on a stock one, but we also have that brake tab right on the inside here. Hopefully that shows up right here. So I got the back of that spring tucked behind this. So when you press on this, it pushes the flat part of the spring down and in, and it puts just enough tension on it to kick it back a little more than the master itself would. So the only other thing I want to do now is adjust out our brake on this side just a little bit so that actually stops on the frame, because that's my stopper basically. So I'll adjust that, which basically stops this from moving too far back. On the pedal treble. And this just gets jam nutted into the adjuster like that. So now the pedal can't actually come any farther back than that. All right, time to get cleaned up, and then let me grab some magnet stuff for you. Throw you guys on the gas tank or something and see how this thing does going up and down the road. Okay, I got you guys on the little magnet clip. I gotta move the Falcon a little bit. Actually, I think I'm gonna pull that right in. Might be another video, but I don't know, he probably just saw it on the ground, but I got that 750 queued up and ready to go, minus the fuel lines. It's got a manual choke on it, which I don't have set up, but I don't need a choke, it's 90 degrees out. So we'll throw that stuff back on in a little bit. So I think I'm gonna roll the bike out over here, maybe, and then pull the Falcon in so I'm not standing in the hot sun for a couple hours more, it looks like. Shadow's starting to come over. So, let's see. Where do I put you guys on your little magnet clip? Might have to adjust the chains just a tiny bit more on here too. Stupid kickstand. Stuck in the rut. All right. Well, should give me enough room, I think. Drop the kickstand here. Gas on, choke on, squirt, squirt, key. Let that warm up a minute. Hopefully the Falcon starts. Okay. Let's go for a ride. Hopefully this magnet clip on the mic is good enough. I haven't done this with the mic on. Hopefully the magnet's strong enough to grip onto the tank too, huh? All right, first gear. also sketchy gravel. Oh. See how she goes. Chopper things. We're gonna have to try and fix that real quick and then we'll start heading back. Yay. Okay, well, I don't have any confidence in that. It's one bolt by hand because I didn't bring tools. Luckily we didn't go far, so one way or another, I'll limp this thing back home. And we'll get that tightened down and actually locked in place. Oh man, good times. Oh, come on now. It's way too hot to be stuck on the side of the road.